Wynncraft is a great server, which upholds a standard of quality in almost every regard. However, I'm here to talk about what I'd say is its least optimized aspect, its bug report process. Now, don't think that this is a hate video. I absolutely love this server and want it to do better. Like, my last session on Mineplex ever featured me convincing someone in the chat that Wynncraft was worth playing. You're welcome for the advertising, by the way. And it is for this reason that I'll be pointing out what I believe are the current issues with the server's bug report process, and some potential improvements, which may be realistic, in hopes that whether my improvements or alternate improvements are underwent, the server's tech support may surpass its main weaknesses and level up in terms of quality. There are two flaws I'm going to address in this video. The first is slight prioritization issues. To give an example of this, at one point my partner had a silver bowl bug out on them, and it took around 2 weeks for that bug to be addressed despite how major of a bug that is. That situation leads me to believe that regardless of what type of bug is reported, it takes about the same time for said bug to be addressed, which isn't perfect since it could mean somebody who has a major bug like a Wynncraft store related bug or game-breaking bug would be addressed at the same speed as somebody who just needs to type /class into the chat. This is a smaller issue, but one that could potentially be improved. But the main issue is the lack of communication following a bug report. From my experience before YouTube rank, and from what I can tell from other individuals, the response you get to your bugs can be slow or hard to interpret. For instance, there was another bug my partner filed, a truly unlucky playthrough, being a quest-holding bug with a very unclear way to fix it, as /class/lobby etc. didn't work. After some time, the only response we received was the bug being placed into the not a bug section of the forums. This is a very unclear response. Is it because it's a duplicate bug? Did they skim read it and assume it was just a /class bug? Regardless, I believe the biggest weakness of the system right now is the communication between the bug report staff and the players due to long response times or vague replies to bugs. Now, before I list my ideas, I will say there's a good chance none of these will work. I am an outsider to the forum's inner workings, so I have no clue how frequent bug reports are, or how many people are in charge of handling them, or how difficult the most technical fix I've thought of could be to implement. But I want to at least try. Otherwise, this would literally just seem like a hate video on the staff in charge of bug reports, who are likely trying their best. For the first flaw, prioritization, I'd simply recommend that particular kinds of bugs are given more priority over others. For instance, if somebody has encountered a bug with the Wynncraft store, it should be given more priority than other bug reports since it's particularly important the store is bug-free, for obvious reasons. Alongside this, if a bug type has frequent reports, but very little game-breaking reports, it should probably receive less priority. This isn't to say to ignore certain types of bugs entirely, but it would likely be better than going chronologically. As for the communication issue, I had two main ideas. One would be easier and the other would be quite a lot harder. The first would simply be to make every response to an individual's bug report as clear as possible, with little to no room for interpretation. Alongside this, if it's a bug which is challenging to fix, it'd be worth giving the player who reported it some sort of update to let them know they're working on fixing it. This would mean players who, for instance, just need to /class, know specifically to try /class or /switch if that doesn't work, whereas players reporting harder to stomp bugs could at least be informed something like, hey, this bug you found isn't that easy to fix, apologies but it may not be fixed until the next patch, or something like that. The second idea I had, and I know this one is extremely unrealistic, would be creating an auto mod that could assist the human staff in dealing with bug reports. Before I go into the specific idea I have for how the auto mod would work, I'd like to clarify that I have little experience with auto mod systems, so this idea might be infeasible or non-optimal compared to other auto mod systems that may exist. However, I believe an auto mod of any kind would be a great addition to the bug report process, regardless of how it's coded. My idea for its structure would be giving it access to a large amount of bug reports and their fixes, so that if a commonly occurring bug is reported again, the auto mod could compare the bug report to other bug reports and give the player some solutions if it has a match. If the auto mod fails to find a solution for the player reporting the bug, the report is then forwarded to human staff who take it from there. It should also be possible for staff to input new bug reports and their fixes into the auto mod. So once a bug is reported once and gets dealt with by a human, this would make the auto mod more able to deal with that bug if it's reported a second time by a different player. For instance, if the auto mod knew to tell a player to /class, but didn't know to tell a player to /lobby, it could learn from the human staff telling the player to /lobby and offer that solution to the next player who reports that bug. Apologies if that was somewhat of a confusing fix, and again, I know it'd be extremely challenging to undertake, but I thought it'd be a good idea, as if it was implemented, it would mean more manpower could be spent on non-duplicate reports, as most duplicate reports could be simply dealt with by the auto mod. In conclusion, I'd like to remind you all that this is not an attack on the current support team, nor is it a demand for fast change, since more drastic cases like the examples I've provided are quite rare. Rather, this is constructive criticism I've compiled based on my own and others' experience with the server's bug report process, and I believe that with these changes, or other alternative changes which address the bug report process's main flaws, the experience of going through the bug report process can be greatly improved. This has been Duoface, and sorry for not uploading Wynn so long. University has been a bit stressful. I'm hoping to do a theory video soon anyway. Have a good one!